All right, what's up, everybody? We are uh, taking questions this morning. I am at Nate Cheat of the IDP guys, and this is Hollywood Titan, also of the IDP guys. We're here to answer all of your start sit questions, so get them into the chat, whatever way you're viewing this, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope. Just go ahead and comment, and we'll get those up on the screen here and answer your questions. But with that, we've got some news to probably go over here. Hollywood, we've got games that are being affected by COVID. What are we at officially now? We definitely have the Kansas City, New England Patriots game flexing to Monday at 8:15.
Last word, that's
And
what
then,
it was.
Yeah, and then we've got your Titans are completely on bye with the Saints. Not the Saints, the Steelers. Yeah, so that's going out to what are they starting playing that game week 7, I believe.
Yes.
Gotcha. And then we had a false positive come through in the New Orleans Saints backfield, and so there was some concern that the Lions and Saints game was going to also be canceled, but that turned out to be a false positive, so it should be a go today.
Yes.
But with that, what kind of decisions are you making right now, Hollywood, with your teams, and where do you stand with injuries and COVID and all that kind of stuff?
I've just kind of been treating it like a bye week. I mean, it's about all you can do, really. Kind of sucks because some of my teams, I needed some of these players, especially Steelers and Titans.
Yeah.
I see some worry about like the Kansas City and New England game. What if it gets canceled? And what do you do with players? I mean, I've been seeing some commissions, they're making, I guess you call them contingency plans. If you're starting those players, I guess they're putting plans in place that maybe you can, hey, if they don't play, I want to start this player or whatever. I've been seeing some of that. So,
yeah, I've seen that, which, from my perspective, just puts a lot of work on your commish.
Yeah, I guess it's up to your commish if he's willing to do that. I guess
to do all of that. It's your regular leagues. I'm sure that's not a big deal. Like when you're playing with guys and it's just your one league. But
right.
When you're talking like, I know I commish the IDP Invitational. That's 96 people. Like that's just not something that I'm going to be able to do. You've got I've got a couple money leagues which I put Corona stuff in place beforehand. Expanded the IR. We've got a contingency of like if the season gets completely fucked,
right.
we can vote to just push to next year. Just everything is for fun, and all the money goes next year. And if we want to double it up, we can. If we, whatever, all contracts remain, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's one of those things where these weekly contingency plans put so much pressure on your commish to be able to do it. So I can definitely see where some people do that and some people don't.
Yeah, I've been seeing mixed things. I've seen some crazy stuff where I guess some owners are in none of the leagues I'm in. I just seen it on Twitter, but I guess they're demanding refunds, and I'm like, it's not the commission's fault. I mean, they should have done like you've done. Put, hey, if the season doesn't do this, we're doing this, like you've done, and then most of the leagues most of the leagues that I'm in, they're deep enough that you should have some depth that you can. It's like a player being hurt or something. It's not like you got the entire team, so you should be able to navigate around it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I subscribe to Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong, and it will go wrong this year. So I mean, I think that I was on board a little more with so our friend in colleague, Sean Lanigan, he put in some major rules into his leagues for COVID. He had a whole like paragraph listing, and some of excuse me, sorry.
Bless you.
Some people thought it was too much, but now we're getting into the COVID part of the season, and it's looking like it was the right amount. And so some of us, knew this was coming and
Right.
kind of prepared for it. And I think people that didn't prepare for it, I don't know what they were thinking as far as like this was just all going to disappear, or something like to the effect that NFL players just weren't going to get it. I don't know.
Right.
Like, you had to go into this year expecting the worst and demanding a refund or demanding whatever, like putting it on your commish for your players being affected by this. That's just idiotic, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I think it's something that everyone's dealing with. You're going to have to navigate. So far, we've been lucky, and it's not been like big bunches of the league. It's just been a team here or a few players here and there. So I think you just treat it like bye weeks. If your commish wants to go the extra mile and put in these contingency plans and stuff like that,
yeah,
I think that's what you got to do. But.
And I think that any winner this year, any league winner, definitely has an asterisk. Like, we're dealing with just chaos, and this was from the first episode of Hard Knocks when Anthony Lynn just said, embrace the chaos. This is a great year for that.
Yeah.
If you're playing for money, then I would definitely try and push that to next year as early as possible and just make it a chaos league and just see what happens. Like your league winner has an asterisk on it, and you're not really actually winning any money this year, because like, how do you really, like, any season you've got players that get injured on the field. Like, you don't have contingencies for that. Like, you don't tell your commissioner, like, oh yeah, I want to swap out, Devontae Freeman because he just got an ACL on the field. Like, so like, I get the wanting to get those points and stacking up and all that stuff, but this isn't a normal year. And I think that, it's only going to get worse. Here we go. Wonderball says, any owner who wins in this climate should not have an asterisk. They should get 2 trophies. That's a valid point too. Yeah. Or they, instead of an asterisk, they should just be in like double bold. Then Dingus over here says, go to bed, Hollywood. You're still drunk.
That may be the truest statement we'll hear all day. After that 4-hour marathon we had last night.
Oh man, what did you guys do last night?
Well, we jumped on a IDP roundtable with Dougie, and it went for like an hour and a half, and it was all interviews or introductions, and then we switched stops. It was like 8 or 9 of us, and we switched over to another link, and we recorded for like another hour and a half, and then we did another one, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even know what time it was when I went to bed.
That's wild. Late. Yeah. Well, but for everyone out there, get your questions in. We're here for start sits, and we go until we run out of questions. I mean, I know I've got a whole bunch of leagues to go back through and make sure that things are started up. I pull anyone from those games of question, and that's kind of where we're at here. It's just Hollywood me today. So
I'm looking on Reddit to see if we have any questions there. I put it there too. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. For anyone that uses Facebook, definitely check out what is it, the IDP Facebook group. Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
A lot of great discussion in there. A lot of people asking questions, getting questions answered. A lot of content being posted there. So if you use Facebook, not everyone does, and for good reason most times. I'd definitely give that a follow. It's a good community to grow.
Yes,
Hollywood, you're in
they're
there, right?
always active in there. Yeah. There's people asking questions in there all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Any Given Sunday Facebook group. This this video is in that group right now, live streaming. So, but yeah, let me see what I've got going on here. If I've got any major questions myself.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. Let's see.
I mean, I got a good feeling that a lot of your casual fans are starting to drop out of fantasy football, a little bit early with all of this craziness and, not knowing what's going on with their team necessarily. Waking up for football Sunday morning, going to set their lineup, and they're like, "Oh, what's up with all this stuff?" So, I think we're going to be starting to lose people early this year.
I hadn't really thought of that, but yeah, the new casual fans, we may be.
I feel like most of fantasy football is your casual fan. And what's interesting is I've got data to back this up just based off of like our website traffic. Usually in October, we have kind of the peak of like the most people interacting and looking, and it's like halfway through October into November that you go over the peak, and there's less and less people, and it's because less and less people are researching because they're effectively out of their league. They're no longer looking for a title. So
yeah, I can see that. I agree
stuff.
On that.
Yeah. Well, we got no questions here so far.
Yeah, looking again, making sure I haven't missed something.
I'll probably not let this drag out too long. So people get your questions in. We've just been talking Corona time and what that means for the league and for fantasy football and all that kind of stuff.
Anybody in particular you picked up this week for IDP or just in general? Or I know a lot of people have been asking me about Myles Gaskin for Miami.
Myles Gaskin, I've got him in a few leagues and definitely going to be starting him. Here we got a question from Wonderballs. Can he play for Atlanta in lieu of Cam Jordan or Jefferson?
Who was it?
It's like Kiki Kingsley.
I think that's who it is. Yeah, Kiki Kingsley. I don't think so. I think you start your studs no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd always go studs because you get too fancy, you get too tricky, and it usually blows back and doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, it doesn't work well if you try to get too cute with it sometimes.
Yeah. That would be my suggestion is keep it, your studs sometimes have bad games. All players have bad games sometimes. And you'll have just a rando have a really good game once. So
Right.
if you try and chase those points, you're going to get burned.
Yep.
Just in
I
general.
agree.
Let's see. So, let's see what else we got. So Dan announced today, or not today, but the other day, that between the IDP Invitational and the what was those, the not dominators, what
The
were those
Eliminators.
things? Eliminators. There, thank you. Between the IDP Invitational and the Eliminators, he has raised $2,000 for Autism Speaks, which I thought was pretty awesome. Hopefully, I'm hoping for next year we more than double that. So I'm going to be really pushing with helping him out and pushing this this charity that he's very passionate about, and see what we can do to build up what this community can do, because I think the IDP community is pretty amazing. There's a lot of great people, a lot of interesting people, and everyone is, really wanting to be helpful. And I think that this is a great cause. Wonder Ball's back at it again with top linebackers. Edmonds, Hicks, Deion Jones, Micah Kaiser, starting Warner and Jalen's.
It's got to be Jalen Smith, I think. So he needs the third.
Yeah, out of Hicks, Deion Jones, or Michael Kaiser. Holy cow!
He's loaded.
Yeah.
I think you sit Edmonds for now because he's kind of gotten off to a slow start. Hicks, Jones, or Kaiser. Ooh, that's a tough one. For me, I think I'm going Deion Jones.
Deion Jones. Yeah, I mean, this has to be like the top 6 linebackers outside of Darius Leonard.
He's starting 3, so he did a good job getting depth, needing 3.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
he's starting Smith and Warner. I think I go Deion Jones. Hicks could be a good play here. I mean, Kaiser could too, but I think Jones and Hicks is your better too.
Yeah, I like it.
I just like Jones better. I think that's where I'd go.
Yeah. All right. Rapp or Fuller?
Rapp. I think Fuller's out this week, ain't he?
Is that it?
Or was banged up? Let me see if I can find that. There was some kind of injury. I thought Fuller was out. Maybe he's back. Let me see here.
Yeah, it looks like it says Rams to be careful with Jordan Fuller thanks to depth. So he's probably out.
I thought there was an injury to him. Let's see here.
Yeah, it was a shoulder injury.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I heard saying that somewhere. So yeah, I'm rolling with Rapp for sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, get your. Ooh, here we go. Fairness. He's starting Garrett and Donald. He wants to start Alden Smith. Should he start him over Queen, Chin, or Abram?
Oh, I'd start him over Abram. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Start him over Abram.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Yeah. Do you think Alden Smith is this year's Shaq Barrett? That guy that is going to be very somewhat boom or bust, but not a whole lot of substance there. Johnny did not like Shaq Barrett last year, so
I'm kind of with him on that. I didn't, like you said, two boom or bust. I do think
Sean likes to point out that there was only 3 games last year that Shaq Barrett didn't have a sack, which is pretty good.
Yeah. My thing with him is you're not going to see that again this year. While he'll be good, if you're expecting him to have close to 20 sacks again, I just don't think you're going to see that.
Right.
More realistically, I think 12 to 15 is a good number for him, and then if you get anything extra, that's just gravy. But I think a lot of times when players break out like that, fantasy managers shoot their value so freaking sky high that it has nowhere to go but down the next year.
Right.
Just like Alden Smith, I think his right now is, I know people don't understand this when I say it, but right now would be a great time to trade Alden Smith because you're never going to get anything better than what you can get right now. He's healthy, he's not in trouble, and he is on a hot streak like nobody's business. I'm trading him everywhere I've got him, unless I just have to have him.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Just like last year, Shaq Barrett, if you would have traded him close to the end of the year, you would have gotten a lot for him. And that manager who traded would have, come into this year and not been as great. Like I know I'm playing him. I haven't seen anything crazy come from him. I haven't been tracking him, but it's not been what he was last year.
Right. And it was kind of the same thing a few years ago with Aaron Donald when he had the 20 sacks. I'm like, I even wrote a big piece on it. He's peaked. He's hit his maximum level. Now is the time to trade him if you're going to trade him, because if you don't, you're not going to get back what you could have. Some owners don't see that. They're like, well, he's playing so good and you're just giving him away.
Yeah. Right. He's still, a top defensive tackle, but where he was at, his value was over that top defensive tackle value where he's at now. You could get even more for him. It was kind of super inflated. And so now, it's like you could have gotten his spot plus some for it. But yeah, so as Facebook user here says, get all those questions in.
Yeah, I like Smith. I have him in quite a few places, and somebody asked me the other day, do you think this will continue? I don't know. Maybe he slows down at some point. Who knows? He's definitely the comeback player of the year already.
Yeah.
But I think he is a boom or bust guy, because there's going to be a couple weeks where he doesn't get any sacks, and then I think he's going to do like he did last week, 2 or 3 sacks, So as long as he doesn't get in trouble again and can stay on the field, then you can pretty much do whatever you want to with him. But if you're trying to trade for him, you're gonna have to pay up.
Right, and you're trading for him, and if you're not expecting that at some point, something bad could happen as far as he could regress or he could do something stupid and get himself off the field. It's kind of I don't think I would be interested in that at all. If I was able to have gotten him, off the wire or something along those lines, great. I'm taking advantage of what I got because I don't have a lot of investment into it. But once you invest into him, I think that's where you're going to have a bad time. Yeah.
Now, most of the places I've got him, I had picked him up off waivers, so I'm out nothing.
Right. It's
he's
just
helped me in a few leagues where I needed the depth, but really I picked him up in a few leagues where I didn't need him.
Yeah.
Just for this chance that, hey, he's going to do good and I can flip him, and that's what I'm going to try to do in the places I don't need him.
Yeah, for sure. Wonder Ball's helping us out. Nice. He needs the best 2. Tracy Walker, Julian Love, Keanu Neal. I think it's hard to sit Tracy Walker. Neal's out? Well, there you go.
Yeah, he's out this week.
Walker and Love.
Yep.
All right. Hollywood, Chark, or Moore?
Moore. DJ Moore, I'm assuming.
Yeah, DJ Moore.
DJ Moore and DJ Chark.
Yeah. And Hollywood Brown.
I think I stick with Moore. Is who I go with on here. I mean, I like Chark. But can we rely on Minshew? I mean, he's kind of been spotty this year so far.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater's not been bad, so I think you stick with Moore. I think.
There you go. Going with Moore.
At least I would.
Yeah. Ooh, here we go. Scott Temple. Need 2. Derek Barnett, Brandon Graham, Danico Autry.
Barnett and Graham.
Barnett and Graham?
Yep, I think you double up right there with the Eagles.
Nice.
I don't necessarily like to do that, but I don't know that Autry's quite on their level just yet. So,
gotcha. There it is. So, get those questions in. We're answering every single one that comes by. We do IDP, we do offense, we do it all. Not too many start-sit shows that do that.
No.
So we're here for you, and we're here every Sunday morning. Usually we have more people, but it's one of those weeks.
Everybody must be sleeping in or something.
Yep. That is what it is, but we're here. We'll probably run this for a little bit longer and then cut it a little bit early. I got a bunch of leagues to go tinker with and make sure they're up to stuff.
I'm working on some of mine now.
Yeah, get out there and see those 1 o'clock games and get some chicken and some beer in me. Seems like the kind of day it is.
Can't go wrong with that.
So what's your go-to? What's your go-to Hollywood on football Sundays? Do you are you a pizza guy? Are you a wings guy?
Oh man,
I know you're like a Miller Lite guy.
Oh no.
Coors Light.
I'm a Budweiser guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
yeah,
I don't want to slander.
Yeah, don't badmouth me. No, I love wings. We've got a local grocery store, Ingles. I go to, and I go to the deli. They make them, and they're the buffalo wings. Yep. And they're super cheap, and I get like 3 or 4 packs of those and go get some more buffalo sauce because I really like that stuff. And so I bake them and in the oven here, and they're really good. And I'm huge on chips and salsa too. Love that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we've got a place up by us, Stu Leonard's, and right now they're saucing to order, but usually they have this like buffet thing that's just in the middle of the aisle, and you go up and you just pick through like 6 or 7 sauces. They got amazing garlic parm. They got a really good sweet and sour sauce one. They're pretty good. They're a little on the pricey side, but then I think Johnny and I will probably be going to local bar restaurant Sliders today.
Cool.
They specialize in some pretty good wings.
So Johnny lives really close to you, right?
Oh yeah. Takes me about 10 minutes to drive to his house.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's
hanging out every Sunday.
Just about. We got a group of guys that we get together and watch the games and stuff. But
that's awesome.
Johnny and I are the only ones that are, super into it. The other guys are kind of casual fans. We got your typical Giants Facebook comment section fan. The guy that thinks he knows everything. And if Eric is listening, you know what I'm talking about, man. open up your eyes and realize the Giants aren't going anywhere this year. But we got Wonder Balls. Starting Galladay. He needs one. Keenan Allen, Michael Gallup, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel coming off of IR. So before we get into this question, what's your thoughts on Justin Jefferson? Because I've had him on the bench for a couple weeks now, and I'm actually starting him in a few places.
Yeah, he looked good last week against us. He lit us up. Of course, we were down some in our secondary, our corners or whatever, but I don't think having them would have really made much of a difference. He was just playing too good. I like him. Think he landed in a great spot. You know, he's only got to contend with Thielen, I believe it is, that for targets, really. It's going to depend on what Kirk Cousins does. If you get the good Kirk Cousins, then he's going to be a great play, and if you don't, he's going to be not so good. But overall, I like him. I think he's a good player. I think he will pick up some of the slack left by Diggs being gone.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so where are you at here with
great dynasty play?
Yeah.
Let's see. Starting Galladay, need Keenan Allen, Gallup. Oh, if it's a PPR, you got to go Keenan Allen. I think he's just going to be targeted too much. Yeah. Deebo, I'm waiting to see how he returns from IR. Jefferson, I think the real question is between Allen and Gallup.
Yeah.
I think Gallup has more to contend with as far as targets with Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and them, so I would go Allen.
Nice. So Wonder Balls jumps in here with once it's a freak thing, twice it's a coincidence, and 3 times you're starting a trend.
Right.
Yeah. But no, it's always good to kind of like wait and see for these guys what they're going to do. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to jump on that and, you know, sometimes you just don't have a choice, you know, especially with injuries. And this year, like, you see someone that's got a potential to do something. It's definitely a, you know, it can be an added bonus. But I like to watch the guys and see what's coming and what's going on, especially with rookies. You just don't know.
Yes.
But,
yeah. And a lot of times it just doesn't quite work the way you think it will. And that's why I love my dynasty leagues, because you can hold on to a player. For instance, Josie Jewell, I thought he was going to come out and be gangbusters. And it just didn't pan out. And now this year it looks like he's the guy there along with A.J. Johnson. So, you know, they got rid of Todd Davis. And then Thursday night, Jewell had 10 tackles and 2 sacks. So he can play the position. Maybe it just took him a little longer to get acclimated, set, and maybe he was kind of buried on the depth chart too. So now that Davis is gone, maybe it's his time to shine. So sometimes you just got to wait. You got to be patient. I know that's hard because I've done it too. I'm like, well, he ain't cutting it, and I'll get rid of the player, and then the very next year he blows up and he's something big. So,
right, yeah, it's funny, especially since people have been calling for his breakout season now for 3 years.
Yeah, this is his
like
third
every
year.
year. It's hey, this is his year.
And he showed flashes of it his rookie year. He come in and showed some flashes, and I was like, okay, here we go. But last year, I honestly do not know what happened to him last year. I don't know if he was still behind on the playbook, or I have no idea. But it looks like it's clicking this year so far.
Right. Yeah, sometimes it just takes time to develop. You know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad I have him in a couple places, which has been really nice to see him, you know, come up and do some stuff. So that's been good. But yeah, so Wonder Balls sends his regards. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate you. We appreciate everyone that's watching and sending us questions. For sure. So, I mean, this is one of our slower weeks for questions, which, you know, it's understandable. There's a lot of stuff going on in the league and whatnot. So I think we're gonna wrap this up now. We've done about 35 minutes worth, and that's pretty good. Hopefully next week we're gonna have more analysts, more conversation to talk about. Hollywood and I talk very regularly, so there's not a whole lot between us to go through.
It's a good thing I don't live up there with you and Johnny, because y'all'd be tired of me.
No, that would be fun. The amount of shenanigans we get into.
But when you have to kick me off your couch every Sunday, you'd
be surprised, man. I mean, obviously, if you're passed out by the end of the night game, I might be poking you and being like, "All right, dude, time to catch an Uber and get home." But other than that, no, we love our football. So you and Johnny would be fast friends on Saturdays too.
Oh God, oh man,
yeah.
I don't know the weekends would survive the two of us together.
Yeah, it'd be fun. We got to figure out some way of getting everybody in one spot.
Oh, that would be awesome, man.
Doing a conference or something that'd be real fun.
That would be awesome. Maybe we could do the Midwest Expo next year.
Yeah, no, I wanted to do it this year, but obviously for certain reasons just didn't pan out that way. Midwest Expo, kind of close
for all of us, really.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that a little more. That's not the one that happens during Canton. In Canton, is it?
Yes.
Oh, that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. Last one as we go out the door from YouTube. Greg Ward or Justin Jefferson?
Does Philadelphia have anybody else to throw to? Ugh. I think Jefferson has the higher upside for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's tough. Maybe Ward, because he's going to for sure get the targets.
Yeah.
If you like to gamble, I would go Jefferson because he's going to have a way bigger upside. I mean, I think the ceiling for between the two is not close.
Yeah. Gotcha. There you go. And I lied. Chargers or Chiefs defense?
Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if Cam Newton can't play.
Yeah. Well, I think even if he's there, I still think you take the Chiefs because they want to run Cam so much. So.
Oh, right. And look what they did with the Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. We're going to cut it a little early this week. We got a lot of overhauling to do for our teams ourselves. So we'll catch you next week. Make sure you subscribe to Writer Digest Network on YouTube, and you get this show plus all of our great and amazing shows every week, every day. We've got a ton of content on there. So go check it out. And with that, we will see you next week.